The Thursday night game, the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are 4.5 point favorites. The Broncos coming off a tough loss against the Raiders, which is just kind of inexplicable. Like, how do you lose to a team that had one of the worst weeks we've ever seen in the NFL? I mean, the Raiders there was no reason for the Raiders to win that game, and they look completely unprepared to play. It's almost like they just took that game off. Like, yeah, we got it. And they looked terrible in the second half the entire way through. Just a bad performance there from Denver. And then Cleveland also looked terrible, but that's because there were some injuries there. Baker aggravates his left shoulder. He commits more turnovers. OBJ drops a pass in the red zone, a fourth down pass in the red zone. Kareem Hunt carted to the locker room with a right calf injury. I mean, you're already losing Nick Chubb. You already lost two offensive tackles, two straight losses. The defense is a mess right now. I mean, the defense looks completely just decimated here. I mean, it is Kyler Murray, but I would expect more from guys like Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett. I mean, I guess they did fine, but everybody else, it seems like they do a bad job with the coverage there. So I will say this: there are not a lot of games for me to. There are not a lot of upsets. I think a good upset picks this week. I look at a lot of these games and I'm like, yeah, these spreads are good. There's no ridiculous like, oh, this spread should be different. I look at all these spreads and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I have to reach for some of these upsets, and I'm gonna reach with Denver here. I don't know the status of. I mean, Baker says he's going to try to play through his left shoulder injury, but 4.5 is a big number. The Browns have really fallen apart here a little bit here. The defense is bad, so I'm going to say Denver. Even though Denver just completely no showed against the Raiders, I'm going to say Denver. Maybe not win, but covers the spread here. I think this could be a three. This is a very good chance. This is a 3-point game, close, interesting battle there. And Denver also with some injuries: Alexander Johnson, Garrett Bowles. So this is an injury-laden game. Another just awful Thursday night game. The Browns actually aren't awful when they're healthy, but they've got so many problems right now. I'm going to take the Broncos to cover the spread here. I think Teddy has a good performance. I think they get through Cleveland's struggling defense here. Browns still win, but I think the Broncos cover. Give me the Broncos plus 4.5.